I am small brain, or big dum dum, as you will. I like my video games with lots of action and always something going on. StarCraft? No. Get that out of my face. But Super Smash Bros? The best. Chef's kiss. But somehow, Into the Breach, a strategy turn-based game, has almost absorbed most of the free time throughout this past week when I wasn't preparing for finals or playing Valorant. Something about this game caught my attention and has held it. And I believe it is the fact that everything in Into the Breach is communicated so well with the player that it leads to such satisfying and unique combat. Communication with the player is something that is very important in video games, especially in ones that can become as complex as RPGs or just games in general, turn-based combat. The player being able to know what the enemy does and what they will do is so important when creating a game like this. One great example of this is in Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, when Goombella gives the player the option to learn about the enemy's health, weakness, and attack, and this information carries through every single fight afterwards. Another great example is how Undertale gives the player the opportunity to react to the enemy's attacks. Instead of just forcing the player to take damage, they give the player the option to react. Into the Breach, however, does communication in an entirely different way than the two aforementioned games. They lay out to the player exactly what they need to see and when they need to see it. Into the Breach does such a great job at communicating with the player exactly what is going to happen, so the player is able to react in a way that in other turn-based games would simply not be possible. Every single one of the enemy's movements and attacks are shown before their turn, so the player has time to think and react based on how the enemy has planned their attack. There's so many different units and possibilities in this game that the player has almost an infinite amount of options of how they want to play. They give the player so many different options to react in such a clear path of what the enemy will exactly do, and it gives the player so much control through combat. With this information laid out to the player, it allows the player to think outside the box and make moves that would not have been possible if the enemies reacted to the player instead of the player reacting to the enemies. There are these little moments when everything in your small composition aligns so perfectly and everything works, and it's so satisfying. You line up one of your units here, you grab onto something, pull it forward, you shoot something over there, pushes an enemy in the line, you have one large line, you use your final unit to shoot a giant laser through all three of them. It's so great how everything can work together in this game, and none of this would be possible if the communication was not as clear as Into the Breach makes it. Into the Breach's communication with the player is how it is possible to have these wonderful moments, and it's so important to the game. It is so unique and fun, and I just had a blast playing it. Into the Breach excels at communication with the player, and it just makes its turn-based combat incredible. It rewards slow, methodical thinking and allows the player to take their time in their decisions instead of just spamming the same move while grinding through hordes of enemies for some XP. This game communicates so clearly with the player, and the reward for that is a final product that is something that is incredibly special. Hey guys, Nato here. I haven't really done an end card like this before, but I just wanted to say I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I did some new things, and if you guys enjoyed them, let me know down in the comments. So also, finals have been kind of crazy. I'm almost done, and I'll be back to uploading 2 videos a week instead of just the one. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and stay safe.